Okay. Thanks to Peter for inviting me over here to give a talk about essentially about my journey to become a principal engineer. And in a short form, it means a PE. Okay. Now, what exactly is a PE? Right? What is exactly is a PE? What's so great, such a big deal about a PE? Now, a PE in Intel is actually a recognized technical leader in these three areas. It's a technical expertise in his or her area of specialization, and a strategic leader in utilizing his or her knowledge to drive initiatives that contribute to the bottom line of the company, right? And thirdly, a role model or a mentor in Intel. So a person has to be recognized in these three areas. Now, unfortunately, a P is not selected by the manager. It's not like managers say that I'm ready, so I'm promoted to PE. It is actually selected by a global PE selection committee. So what it means is that a PE is recognized worldwide. All right. Now, my journey to PE began actually 2 years ago. But the tipping point really happened about 3 years ago at the end of 2014. What exactly is a tipping point? Actually, at the end of 2014, I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. And my whole world just came crashing down. I still remember what the doctor told me. He said, you know what, I don't fit the profile of a person who get bladder cancer because I'm not a smoker and I'm not above 60 years old. So I asked, why? Why me? At the time, I'm truly at a loss. Try as I may, I couldn't figure out why. The reason because I had bladder cancer. And at that point is when I start to realize that since I won't know the real answer behind it, the real reason, therefore, I have a choice. I have a choice to feel like I'm a victim of the circumstances or to believe that actually God has a message for me. The message is that, hey, KL, change your life. If I found out that I had bladder cancer when I'm above 60 years old, there's no way no turning back, so to speak. I choose to view it that way. And actually what I did is I changed my lifestyle. I exercise daily. I eat and drink healthily. And make sure that I have enough rest or sleep. And obviously too, to have fun and play, right? What's life, without the fun part and the play part of it. And at the time, I was actually a manager, like what Peter introduced me just now, a manager in Intel at the time. And actually, I re-examined my life purpose at that point. You see, my life purpose is to inspire others to achieve wholesome success and pay it forward to make this world a better place. So I wanted to inspire others. I wanted to become a coach. But does becoming a coach equates to being a manager? I kept asking myself that question. And finally, I realized that no, it's not necessary. And I realized that I could have conversation, a more meaningful conversation with others that are more empowering and about growth beyond the shackle of being a manager, about talking about projects deadline, talking about projects commitment, right? It frees me. I like that, and that's the reason why then I switched over to individual contributor. That's what we call in Intel a technical individual contributor path. That was 2 years ago, and I met Peter. I still remember Peter asked me that question. Hey, KL, if you want to inspire others, wouldn't your words carry a lot more weight if you are a PE? I said, obviously yes. Then Peter asked me again, if you set an aggressive goal, how soon can you become a PE? And I say that, well, if aggressively, 2 years, I said. And at that point in time, I have no idea how to make it work, how to make that happen. But as I say, the rest is history. And that is the short and sweet part of my story. But I know Peter invited me here today to talk more about, on that journey, what are the challenges that I face? And obviously, there are a lot of challenges, but I'd like to share two main challenges. So the first challenge, if you look at it, right, is, how do I call that? You know, the inner voice, the self-doubt that always play in your mind, in my mind at least, that say something like, hey, my department, there hasn't been any PE until now. What makes me think that I could become one, right? The voice that say, you know, I've just switched over my role to a technical individual contributor. There's so many other competent um, technical folks in Intel. Wouldn't they be more qualified than me? Right? Those voice that keeps playing in the head, you know, actually, if you ever listen to your own voice, it's probably playing almost every single second of the day. So, but I recognize the fact that, again, I have a choice. I have a choice to either believe in those thoughts that makes me feel disempowered, or choose to think in a way that makes me feel empowered. I recite to myself that, yes, I can make a difference. And yes, I know my strengths, and I'm consciously utilizing my strengths to achieve my goal. That is one of the key things how I overcome. I call it those unseen barriers that usually plays in my mind. Okay. Now, the other second main challenges is bucket it as, you know, those what you call those curveballs or unforeseen or unexpected obstacles get thrown at me. I'm sure many of you, you know, have gone through the same thing as well. I decided to do something, and I got curveballs, unexpected, unplanned things, you know, thrown right at me. Right? Example, this was beginning of last year. I was about to embark on a new project in Intel, and the project will help me to grow towards the PE. And suddenly another project came in, is very urgent, and I got kind of a quote unquote sidetracked into the project, and it demanded my full bandwidth, my full attention. And I was thinking at a point in time, I said, gosh, there goes my career, maybe for another year. You know, I'm going to, you know, get sidetracked and work on another project. No, but what really helps me through is this. It's really the power of clarity that comes when I'm living my life purposefully. When I know what is my life purpose, and I know that what is the goal, that the breakthrough goal that I wanted to achieve, I have the power of clarity to see that the opportunity that comes along the way and seize those opportunities. So let me relay what happens then. So in this later project that I got sidetracked into, there's one day I got called into a meeting. It was an unplanned meeting. I got called to a meeting, and I found myself in a meeting that there are two vice presidents of the company, an Intel fellow, a senior principal engineer, senior PEs, and many, many PEs, questioning me about the solution that I proposed. It is a very intense situation. It feels like as if you are being interrogated, right? So I stepped out of the meeting, and that's the point in time I realized that, hey, you know what, KL? It is a difficult meeting, but it is a perfect opportunity to build my credibility and my network. And sure, you know, obviously the voice still play in my mind and say that, you know what, KL, what if you screw it up? You know, screw up badly, and everybody know you that you screw up big time. I said, yes, that's a possibility, but I choose again to believe that as long as I do what I think is right for my company, I can't get very wrong in that. And therefore, actually, after that 1 year, in fact, the Intel fellow and the senior principal engineer wrote recommendations for me to be promoted to a PE based on my work done in that project. So in summary, I have the power of clarity, I can recognize opportunities to even how to achieve my goal, even in moment of crisis, so to speak. So what is my advice to those young engineers and young managers, upcoming engineers and managers in their career path? Now, in this age of instant gratification, right, where our smartphone plays, but everything that is instant, right, we get instance to that. We live life as in, you know, everything is done in an instant. And we have to really realize that career is not a 100-meter dash. It is actually a marathon race. So because this is a marathon race, it spans many, many, many years throughout our life. We need extraordinary strength, almost like a superhuman strength to carry us through that journey. And how do we get that? Where do we get that strength? The strength comes from living life purposefully, having a purpose that is far greater than myself, than oneself. That is the strength. When you have that, it will carry you throughout all the obstacles in your life to achieve your goal. Okay? And that comes with living your life purposefully. And since that like what I said, the career is not a 100-meter dash, don't spend 24 hours a day just focusing on the career. Okay, I've gone through that. You know, I can tell you for sure, don't spend 24 hours of your life just focusing on career, and therefore neglecting other equally important aspects of your life. For example, your health or your family. If just imagine if you can grow yourself and achieve wholesome success. What I meant by wholesome success is not neglecting, but taking into context each of these specific areas that you wanted to grow as well, you wanted to achieve success as well. That takes into account your heart, your body, your soul, your mind, your family, your finance, your community. Holistically, the reward will be so much more it will be so much more rewarding. I can guarantee you that you will not live your life with regrets in any of these areas. All right, so then back to the question of what is my next breakthrough goal, right? So I become a PA, and then what is my next breakthrough goal? It has to go back to my purpose in life again. It is to inspire others to achieve wholesome success. And in turn, they could pay it forward to make this world a better place. Now, with that, I intend to become an internationally acclaimed coach, speaker, trainer, and author. I want to inspire others. That's like if I'm able to inspire two other person, and each of the two other person inspire another two. This is what I call building the critical mass. And by building this critical mass, I would like to see in physics what we call a chain reaction. A chain reaction that will forever change this world. And that will be my legacy. And how would I go about to achieve this breakthrough goal? I would use the same principles and the formula that got me to become a PE. Knowing that every single present moment, I have a choice to believe, to feel, to think, and to act in a way that's consistent with the person that I aspire to be. And secondly, living my life purposefully. And with that, the power of clarity to see and seize the opportunity that came along. There are actually other two important elements that I do on a daily basis. This is also the secret part of it. I call it the daily morning priming and the daily evening act of gratitude. But if I will definitely speak more about this, in my next or my future speaking engagement. With that, I hope that I can inspire you, all of you, to reach for the star. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.